Well, good morning. When I said I was going to be late, I wasn't kidding, folks. Sorry about that, but that's the way it goes sometimes, you know. Uh, Doctor's appointment. Everything's good. They say I'm healthy. I feel like shit, but they say I'm healthy. I guess when you're my age, you're not supposed to feel good, so. Anyhow, some stuff going on. Big thing is the measles. Now, and I was just talking to my wife about this morning. I don't remember growing up. I had the measles. I remember having, and I also had something called the German measles, which you can get more than once. And I never heard this kids dying from it or anything like that, or being that sick. You know, I forget how many days I was out for school. That's a long time ago. So I don't remember. But that's that's just one of the things that I don't understand about diseases nowadays. At least they didn't tell us that it was fatal. I don't remember hearing story. Well, you didn't have the news coverage that you have today, you know, so you didn't hear about kids dying all across the country. You didn't hear about it being an epidemic. It was just a disease that everybody got. You know, it was part of growing up, more or less, you know. I'm shocked by the fact that they're talking about kids dying from it so much. And I never knew that, you know. I never heard it talked about. So, of course, the news was on the radio, and you weren't allowed to stay up for it back those days, you know. So, whatever, you know. So that's pretty much it. But it's apparently very serious, mostly in Texas, from what I understand. You know, don't know why only in Texas, but in the country supposedly got 2,000 cases that they know of. And they suspect that there's a lot more that aren't being reported as measles. So, you know, I'd get the vaccine if I were you. They don't, they apparently we were very close to saying measles was gone, and now it's not anymore. It's considered back. It's considered almost at epidemic strengths. So, you know, you could thank Kennedy and Trump for that. I hate saying the name Kennedy in response to that, but, you know, he is the Secretary of Health, you know. See, the trouble with those two morons is they do things on a whim, without evidence, without backup. They listen to somebody who says, that sounds good, let's do that. You know, that's just the way they act, and if you think it's different, you're wrong. That's just the way they act. You know? Even Lucy's smarter than that. Oh, she didn't even look up at that. Her ears twitched, though. I saw that. Okay, she's listening. All right. Now you got Trump going after the Venezuelan oil, and he's saying that, you remember they took all that stuff away from us. Yeah, I do. It was called nationalization of the oil industry, and unfortunately what they did do is they kicked everybody out, and they ran into a lot of problems trying to keep the refineries up to snuff because there wasn't anybody who knew what to do with left. Yeah. Well, apparently they worked that out. You know, I don't know. They used to make sure poor people got oil and stuff. I don't know. I guess they don't do that anymore in the United States through Hess Oil. But you know, Trump doesn't remember that. Trump should remember something else, though. And I have this on. I know this story well. That Saudi Arabia had formed an oil company called Aramco Oil Company. My uncle was one of the controllers of it for a short period of time. He did stints as controller, apparently, rotated it through the various companies. I think he was working with Shell at the time. But if I remember correctly, it was Shell, ExxonMobil, Texaco, and Chevron, I think, plus Saudi Arabia. And they formed this coalition. Now, I don't know whether it still exists or not, or what, But I do know that Saudi Arabia nationalized the oil companies after a while. And it's the same thing that they're accusing Venezuela of, only they're willing to go to war with Venezuela, but they're not going to go to war with Saudi Arabia. All right, first of all, Venezuela has more oil than Saudi Arabia does right now, so that's what he wants to do. Because I think he'd like to be in a position where he could tell Saudi Arabia to go fuck themselves, but that's not going to happen. They're pretty much some sort of partnership that's going on there that goes way back to I first became aware of it, really aware of it in 9/11 when I told you the story. The Saudi prince was the only person allowed to fly out of the United States. His plane was the only plane in the air in almost the entire world on 9/11. So that's a very strange situation they got going there. I don't know what it is. I really don't care too much for Saudi Arabia. They're trying to do a lot of things over there because the one thing they do understand that the rest of the world doesn't understand is that there is not an infinite supply of oil anywhere in the world. Okay? What's there, if the big reserves, if the United States gets its hands on that, the United States will destroy the world because Trump and his little cronies are way too greedy to allow competition like that, you know. So we'll see there. That's just I'm just really surprised about that people don't remember this stuff, you know, and this is how they get away with shit. You know, that's that old saying. Well, some philosopher once said this. I forget the guy's name, but that's very true. Those that don't remember history are destined to repeat it, and that's exactly what's happening here. You know, so but Trump is trying to gain control of everything. He now has an envoy in I forget what country it's for. That anyhow wants to give up. Iceland and give it to the United States, which will make Russia so happy that they'll probably blow the island off the face of the earth. Okay, so you know, Trump wants war, anything to distract so that he can sit around and rob, steal, coerce, or whatever it is to get more money. And it's not the government is paying him. He wants that, what, over $200 million because the government tried to convict him of crimes. Tough shit, man. If he gets it, then I know people. I got a couple of people that are going to say they want a couple of $1 billion for the same deal, you know. So you got to be careful there, Donnie. Well, he doesn't be care. He doesn't care. If the United States pays him that, then somebody ought to shoot the son of a bitch, really, because he's just a disgusting, vile human being. That he's a disgrace to the United States. He's a disgrace to the world. And people kowtow to him all the time, you know. Hey, Lucy, come on. There you go. There you go. She's having a little snack. If you don't mind, I'm busy. I'll be right here. I'm right here, but I'm taking care of my friend Lucy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You know, hungry? All right. Don't eat them then. I'll give them to you later. You can have them for later. It's all right. Okay, I'm back. So that's that. What else is going on? And speaking of oil, Trump is going after another tanker. I think he's got 2 in line. I think he just picked up his second one. He's looking at a third. And I'm wondering, you know, sooner or later one of those tankers is going to blow up in a harbor or something like that. And that's really going to set the tone for us in Venezuela. Right now, these countries are letting them seize these tankers. And pretty soon that's going to, you know, there's going to be a problem. And I don't know whether Russia or China will come down there and try to defy the blockade. And that should make life very, very interesting for the United States. And Donnie, because Donnie and Hegseth are not war politicians. They're pussy politicians. Okay? They're cowards, and big mouths, and, you know, what can I tell you? All right, so where was I? All right, now I don't know what to talk. I'm talking about the tankers. I don't know what else to talk. Football sucked. I didn't get to watch any of it. I was visiting with my father-in-law, and my brother-in-law goes in. He comes up to me and starts off in the morning. He says, "I should go first because I'm older than you." And I said, "Excuse me, you're 76. I'm 80." And I said, "And your father-in-law is 87. You're a punk kid, you know." And I get through shit with this guy all the time like that. He's got a memory that's selective, you know, for him. It benefits him, you know. So that's that. We have a game. We have a game tonight. I'm not sure there's a game tonight. Let me check that. Oh, jeez, I'm catching cold. I'm surprised I don't have pneumonia with the kids that were sick in the doctor's office. Jesus, I'm telling you. The Colts and the 49ers tonight. That should be a good game. I like the 49ers. I always have, especially around Super Bowl time. You know, it's just the coaching they have. And you see a lot of teams use a lot of the plays that were from Bill Walsh's decade. Now they're starting to not even give him credit for those plays. You know, the crossing route. They used to run what they call crossing routes all the time. They always used the pass to set up the run, you know. So they were a really well coached. They did everything. They executed great. They were considered. They called them dirty. They called them everything, but they couldn't beat them. So, you know. Chiefs are dead. They lost to a 3-12 team or something like that. Wow, they're just disgusting. You know, I think they've given up. I think Mahomes got hurt again too. I'm not sure. Like I said, I didn't get to see any football yesterday, hardly. Except I watched the game last night for a while, and I can't tell you. That was just. I was a little upset by that one. Looks like they pulled the game out and won the game last night. Holy shit! I didn't see the end. I didn't see the whole fourth quarter because I was so tired and aggravated. Oh, man. Let's see if we could get this. No, it doesn't do that. Hold on a minute. Don't nobody go anywhere. That happened to me twice over the weekend. Games I was watching, I said, "Oh, they're done. You know, I'm going to bed." You know, and I did. I went to bed because I had to get up very early this morning to go to the doctor. So the Patriots came back and won that game, 28-24. I watched the Steelers beat the end of the. I saw that on what do you call it? One of the ESPN shows before I left the house or something. Score anyhow. But the Chiefs, I saw the score and I was shocked by it. The Titans beat the Chiefs 26-9. That shouldn't have happened. I mean, just stuff has happened that shouldn't have happened. The Jags beat the Broncos. That shouldn't happen. You know? And the Patriots pulling that game out. I should have watched the damn end of the game. I missed a really good game, apparently. That's the story of my life, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Is that it? Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So listen, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to go over and do about a short live video. It'll be up in about 10 or 15 minutes when I get through posting this. Whoa. Hello. Sorry, it's just one of the stories I saw. Okay, let me go. All right, everybody, hit that subscribe button, please, and give me a like if you don't, if you can, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Should be a normal day tomorrow. Hope so. Anyhow, take care.